Hey everyone, on this video, I'd like to walk you through on how to create your own virtual classroom using Microsoft Teams. Now the point of having a virtual classroom is that your students will be able to click on various pictures and objects within your classroom that will send them to the websites that you want them to go to. For example, my students could click on this DV logo that will send them to the Deer Valley website. Also on my table here, I have a small calculator. They could click on that, and that will send them to the graphing calculator on Desmos that I want them to use. Now, there are lots of ways to customize this virtual classroom, and you can even include a Bitmoji version of yourself that hopefully at the end of this video, you'll be able to replicate and use in your Microsoft Teams classroom. So let's get started. Now, in order to create our virtual classroom, we're going to be using Microsoft PowerPoint. And if we switch back to my Teams tab, you can see that this virtual classroom that my students will be using is powered by PowerPoint. So we're going to first create our virtual classroom here, and then we'll export it out to Microsoft Teams. So let's follow along, and let me get a blank slide here so that we can create and you can follow along the steps to making your own virtual classroom. Now I have these text boxes here that we don't need, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut those out. Now, first things first is you need your background for your virtual classroom. You can see that for mine, I was kind of lazy. All I did was create two different colored rectangles and use my teal back as the wall and then the black rectangle as the floor. So I'll walk you through how I did that. And if you want to, you could just search on Google for virtual classroom backgrounds and you could use what they have as well. I just decided to use my school colors. So I'm going to go to Insert into Shapes, and I'm going to pick the rectangle, and I'm going to make my border for my wall. Now, again, I'm from Deer Valley, so I use teal and black as my colors. You can use whatever colors you want. Once you have your rectangle selected, you can change the color of that rectangle by just picking any of these colors. So I'll go ahead and make mine blue. And then I want to create the rectangle for the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another rectangle at the bottom. And this will be my floor color, and I'll make that black. So there, I have my background for my virtual classroom where I got my floor, and I have my wall space. Now, you can see how these are very similar. And then as we go along, we can adjust the height of them in case we want to switch some things around. Now, as you see, I have a bunch of different clip art in my virtual classroom, such as the desk, the laptop, I got some whiteboards, I got a table. And I want to walk you through on how you can add those to your classroom. So what we want to do is we want to go to Insert. And once we're on the Insert tab, we want to go to Pictures. And then we want to go to Online Pictures. Okay, we're going to wait for it to load for a second. Now that we're here, you can just start typing in different images that you want to use to find and fill in your classroom. The only big thing that you have to remember is that whatever you're searching for, you want to add the word transparent in front. And the reason why is that we want the background to be transparent so that it doesn't have some weird white border around it when we import that image. So I'm going to look up transparent desk image. And as you see, a bunch of them pop up. Hey, that's the one that I used in my classroom. But for this video, I will go ahead and pick a different one. I will insert that object, and you can see it comes really large into your frame. And all we have to do now is resize it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to resize my desk so that we have it set up. Now you can see on this one, it did come with a little link for where the image came from. We don't need to keep this, so you can just select that text box and then cut that out. Now I'm going to put my desk on the left side. If you wanted to put it on the right side and you wanted to flip it, you actually can do that. All you have to do is go to Picture Format at the top. You're going to want to go to this Rotate, and you can rotate it to the right 90 degrees, to the left 90 degrees. You could flip it vertically, but that's not what we want. We just want to flip it horizontally so that now it's facing the right way off to the side on the right side. Okay, now you have your desk, you're probably going to want a chair. So again, you go back to insert, you go to pictures, you want to go to online pictures, and again, make sure you type in transparent, and I can type in chair image, and I can search for a chair that I want to use for my desk. So let's see, again, right, bunch of options that you can use. Since I already use like a cartoony desk, I'd like to find a cartoony chair to use. Looks like I'm not seeing one though. I do like that one. I'm gonna take that guy, I'm gonna insert it in, and again, very large, but all you have to do is resize it to fit into your PowerPoint. Now again, when you insert the image, it might add this text box here. So what you want to do is you want to just select that text box. You want to right click and cut that out so that you're just left with the image. Now if you see, if you really wanted to put this chair behind the desk so it looks like it's sitting back there, you could do that. All you would need to do is to take your desk that we already put in, you would need to right click it, and you would want to click on bring to front. And if we click bring to front, now that desk image is going to sit in front of that chair image. Okay, so lots of ways that you can customize this. I'm going to make my chair just a little smaller so that we have that there. Cool. All right, now if we go back to my classroom, you can see that I added some whiteboards. You're probably going to want whiteboard space because my plan is that once we start school, I can put the announcements for the day, what their assignments are for the day, and any other special things that my students need to know. So again, we want to go to insert, we want to go to pictures, we want to click on online pictures, and just to reiterate, you really want to make sure you type in that word transparent before you search for any image that you want. So I'm going to search transparent whiteboard image. And there are, again, a bunch of options. If you want to be old school and you want to use a chalkboard, you could put a chalkboard up. And there is my chalkboard to use. And again, you can resize it if you want to resize it. Now, let's say you wanted to have two different whiteboards or two different chalkboards. Again, all you got to do is take the image you already have. You're going to want to copy it by right-clicking and hit copy. And then you want to just click again, right-click, and hit on paste. And now I have two whiteboards that I can put side by side so I can use those for various announcements. Now I'll go ahead and stop inserting a bunch of different images. You really are able to customize it however you want. You can include whatever you want. And also I would say Google is your best friend. Go to Google, search up virtual classroom images, and you'll see what lots of other teachers have been doing. And you can kind of get inspired by them. But just remember, you want to go to insert, pictures, online pictures, and just make sure you're using that word transparent in front of anything you're searching. Okay. All right. So now that we have our classroom set up, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start to include links to various things, to various websites. So I'm going to jump back to my classroom because when we had my classroom set up, you can see that when you hover over certain pictures, there are links there that I have put in, that I've embedded to my images so that when they click it, it goes to my website that I want them to go to. So let's go back to our demo classroom. And let's say that I wanted students to go to a website when they clicked on this chalkboard here. Okay. Now, again, you could have a book. You can see on my, actually, I'll do it on my virtual classroom instead of doing it on the sample one. If you see here, I went and Google searched the textbooks that I use for my Algebra 1 and my geometry class. And right now I'm hovering over it and we don't see a link like I do when I go over the calculator or on the website. So let me show you how to do that. So here's what we want to do. First things first is we got to figure out which website we want to go to. So go ahead and open up your browser and you want to figure out what website you want to go to. So for me and my students, we use the book CPM, and I want them to go to the ebook for CPM. Now, this link here is the link that I want them to use in order to go to their ebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to click on copy link address. Okay, that's going to copy the link for that address. Now I'm going to switch back to PowerPoint. And I want them to be able that when they're using this, and I can go back to Teams to show you. Right now, there is nothing that happens when they click on those textbooks. But I want that to change so that when they click on those, they're going to their ebook. So in order to include a link onto this image of my Algebra 1 textbook, all I need to do is select the image like I have by clicking on it. And then I want to right click, and I want to go down here to where it says link, and I want to click on link. Now once you click that, this window will pop up, and right down here where it says address is where you want to paste now the website that we got from our browser. So again, just to double check, I'm going to hit copy link address. I'm going to jump back to my PowerPoint, and down here where it says addressed, I'm going to right click and paste, and that is the website that I want them to use, and then I can click OK. Now when I hover over that textbook, you see that it has that website where I want them to go, and then we can test it. So it says do control and click to follow a link. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold my control button and click on the textbook, give it a second, and now it's loaded up the CPM textbook website for my students to use. Okay, again, let me walk you through that one more time. Whatever image you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and now add a link to my geometry textbook. Again, I want to right click that image. I want to drop down here to link. It opens up this tab here. Down here at where address is, that's where you want to insert your website. So again, I'm going to paste my website in, and then I'll click OK. And now I see that both textbooks have been set up to use that website. And for my textbook, they actually end up going to the same website, so it doesn't matter which one they have. Okay, same thing with if you wanted to add it to the image of this book on the table, you could do the same thing. All you have to do is right click, drop down the link, click it, put your website in. So now that we have the gist of how to create our virtual classroom and we know how to insert links, the very last step is that we want to be able to insert a Bitmoji version of ourselves. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have your smartphone, and you're going to need to either go to the App Store if you have an iPhone, or to the Google Play Store if you have an Android phone, and you want to download the Bitmoji app. Let me go ahead and switch to my phone so you can see that demonstration. So on my phone here, you can see that I have the Play Store and the Bitmoji app already there. Again, you would need to go into the Play Store in order to download the app. Okay, you want to search for the app Bitmoji. Now, once you have the Bitmoji app, you will click on that, and then it will open up your Bitmoji account. And if you're doing it for a first time, you're going to actually have to log into or create your own Bitmoji account. And once you do that, then you'll be able to walk through and customize the Bitmoji for however you want you to look on your virtual classroom. So as you can see, I'm not really going to mess with mine too much because I got mine set up the way I want to, and it will take you some time to go through and create that. Again, you want to go down here to where it says avatar, and in the avatar tab you can change your hair, you can change your facial hair, you can change your eye shape, you can also do the eyebrows, right? There are just a bunch of customizations that you can use to create your Bitmoji to look more like you. You can even go to fashion, and at fashion you can select the outfit that you want to use. Again, lots of ways to customize this. So go ahead and take some time to customize your Bitmoji to your liking. And then once you have that done, you just want to make sure at the very end you want to hit that save button up here in the upper right corner. And once you have it saved, now we can jump back to our computer so that we can insert our Bitmoji into our virtual classroom. So let's go ahead and head back there. All right, so now that we've created our own Bitmoji on your smartphone, we want to use that Bitmoji and we want to insert it into our classroom. So here's what we need to do. We need to go ahead and open up our Chrome browser. You do need to use Google Chrome for this step. Now, once you have your Google Chrome browser open, you're going to want to type in Bitmoji Chrome extension. Okay, Bitmoji Chrome extension. You want to search for that. You want to click on the link that goes to the Chrome Web Store, and you want to click on this button here that says Add to Chrome. Again, this is the Bitmoji app that you have on your phone. Now we're going to put it right into our computer. So I'm going to hit Add to Chrome. I'll hit Add Extension. We'll wait a second for it to go in. And now we get to this login page. Now, whatever account you used a couple minutes ago to create your Bitmoji, you're going to want to enter your email address and your password, and then you want to log in. All right, now once you've signed in to your Bitmoji account, you'll see that it says you're logged in and that you can now use Bitmoji in Chrome, Gmail, and Slack. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to now use this extension so that we can insert our Bitmoji version of ourselves into our classroom. So let's go ahead back to our Chrome browser, and you want to go to your Bitmoji extension. Now the extension is kind of hiding in Google Chrome. You'll see this puzzle piece at the top, and you want to click, it says extensions. You're going to want to click on that button, or if you don't have that puzzle, you want to click the 3 dots. And if you click the 3 dots, you can go down to more tools, and you can see extensions there. Both ways will take you to your extensions tab. So I'm going to click on that, and now I see that my Bitmoji app is in my browser. I want to click that, and then our Bitmoji extension will open, and you can see that it has all the different stickers that that you saw on your cell phone. Now, here's where you get to search for what type of Bitmoji you want to put in your Google Classroom. If I go back to my PowerPoint tab, you can see that my guy is sitting. And the way that I got that is that I went up here to search Bitmoji, and I just typed in sit, and I could see all the various ways that my Bitmoji comes up sitting. And so I chose this one where it looked like I was on a chair. I want to go ahead and click it, and it means that I want to right click and I want to copy that image. Okay, whatever Bitmoji you want. Mine's sitting. You could maybe do stand. I haven't typed in stand yet. Well, it just looks like he's screaming stand. So you want to just type in, and there's a bunch of different ones you can use. We'll go ahead and type in which ones you want to use. And then we want to jump back over to our virtual classroom. And now I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. And now I have my Bitmoji version of myself in my virtual classroom. Again, he is, whoops, something's happening. All right, there he is. He is supersized, right? I want to bring him down. So again, I just want to resize him so that he fits the classroom, and we can bring him behind this desk. And again, how I did it last time, if you want this desk to be in front of him as well, all you have to do is right click on the desk, hit bring to front. Now we can slide that desk in front of the Bitmoji version of myself. Okay, so that's how you can enter in your Bitmoji version of yourself. Okay, again, you want to just use that Chrome extension, and like I said, there are lots of searching for Bitmojis that you can do, right? This one already had a version of me on a chair. I could have used this. Again, you just want to right click on whatever image you want, copy the image, go over to PowerPoint, you want to right click, and you want to click paste, and my Bitmoji version could have had me eating a popsicle, apparently. All right, again, lots of ways you can add yourself into your virtual classroom. Okay, so now that we have our virtual classroom all set up, we have the pictures and objects that go to different links and websites. The last step is now that we want to add this virtual classroom to Microsoft Teams. Now, the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to need to upload this version of our virtual classroom in PowerPoint. We want to upload that to OneDrive. Now, here's how you're going to want to do it. Now, and what I just want to make a quick note is that I wasn't able to have this working correctly using my school account. I did have to use my own personal Microsoft account in order to get this to share properly. Okay, so just a side note. So what you want to do is you want to click on this Share tab, and then you want to click on this OneDrive option. Now again, I'm not going to use the Antioch Unified School District account because I wasn't able to have it to work on that because they don't allow you to share documents outside of the network, which makes sense. But for this purpose, we are going to need to be able to share this virtual classroom. So we do want to use your own personal account. So I'm going to go ahead and click OneDrive and sign in to my personal Microsoft account. All right, so now it's uploading to OneDrive on my personal Microsoft account. And we can see here, the main reason why we want to do this is that when I click on this, anyone with the link can edit, we need it to be on that setting, that anyone with this link can edit this virtual classroom. Okay, so once you've logged in, you want to click on that. And we want to make sure we click off allow editing, because we don't want our students to go in and be able to mess up all this work we just did. So be sure to unclick that so that no students can mess with all the hard work you just put in. So go ahead and click apply. And then the important part is that you're going to want to copy the link. We want to copy this link to our Bitmoji classroom. Okay. And once I got that, there's my link right there. If you can double check, you can copy it again. We can close that tab. Again, just want to reiterate, in order to share this, we want to hit share. And once we click share, we want to make sure we double check that we want to click on anyone with the link can edit, and we want to make sure that it is not set to allow editing. We don't want anyone to be able to edit this. And then we want to copy that link. All right, let's jump over to Teams and put this virtual classroom into our Microsoft Teams channel. So in Microsoft Teams here, you can see I created a test classroom. And up here you have your posts, you have your files, you have your class notebook, assignments, grades, right? Once we get our actual class lists and rosters set up, you'll be able to see all your students here. Now here's how you're gonna wanna enter or to import your Microsoft PowerPoint version of your classroom. You wanna go over to this plus icon so we can add a tab, and you wanna click it. And what you don't want to do is you do not want to click PowerPoint and you do not want to click SharePoint. You don't want to use either of those. Instead, what you want to use is you want to use website. Okay, and here's the reason why you don't want to use PowerPoint. If you click on PowerPoint, it's going to actually upload the PowerPoint version of your Bitmoji. And when a student goes to click on it, they're actually going to see it set up just like this. It won't be in presentation mode. It won't be in the slideshow mode. It'll be just like this, where they'll be able to still edit everything, and we don't want them to be able to edit, right? That's our whole goal. We don't want them to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on website, and the tab name, I can choose what my name is. So I'm going to change it to virtual classroom. You can change it to whatever you want to. And I mean, you could also, I'm going to just leave mine as virtual classroom. And then the URL here, that's where you want to paste that website address, that link that we copied for our version of our Microsoft PowerPoint classroom that's in OneDrive. Okay, remember we went over here to PowerPoint, we clicked on share, we got that link. That's where we want to insert that link. Now, before you hit save, there is one last thing that we have to add to this website in order for it to be in presentation mode. Now that last little bit that we want to add is I'm going to go ahead and paste it, and then I'll highlight it so you can see what we added. This last little segment that goes at the end of the URL will make sure that it embeds it, that it's in view mode. And the view mode is the slideshow mode. If we did not put this, then we wouldn't see it posting as a slideshow presenting. Okay, once we have that little bit added, and I'll make sure to put that separate so you can just copy and paste that at the end. You want to click save. It'll take up a second to get that going. And now you're going to see your virtual classroom popping up as a slideshow. Now, you can create multiple slides, as I accidentally did when I was creating my test one. And your students could cycle through different slides if you wanted multiple classrooms. But now you can see that they can just load up your virtual classroom and they're able to click on those photos. So let's say I wanted them to go to my YouTube channel. They could click on my YouTube channel and it will load my YouTube channel for them to see. Okay, so I'm hoping that this was very informative for you. I'll try to do it as step by step as I could. I'm also available if you want any help. You can email me and I can make sure I can get you some extra help about adding this virtual classroom to Microsoft Teams. And now you can see right up here at this tab, I can go to grades, I can go assignments. If I click on virtual classroom, it takes a second to load. then it pops up and you can see your virtual classroom. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.